Hi there, my name is Shyla Odell, and I am the owner of What I Learned Today. We are a private teaching and tutoring service, and we offer a variety of support based off of the needs of our specific families that we serve. I often have families reach out asking for more information, so I made this video to give you a step-by-step walkthrough of our services and just get you acquainted with what we're all about. So, with what I learned today, our goal is to make children feel confident and into lifelong learners. We really focus in on their strengths and where they're at, and then go ahead and build from there. We do this by offering one-on-one personalized instruction. This allows us to focus just on that child during every session that we work with them so that we can make sure that they are learning at a pace that works for them. We are bringing in fun, engaging activities, making learning hands-on and memorable. They're working with a teacher that they like, and we firmly believe you don't learn from someone you don't like. So that's a very important thing when we're matching our learners. We start out with an assessment so that we can see where the child is at. Sometimes this is even before they meet their teacher. Sometimes the person assessing them is who we have in mind for their teacher. Once we do the assessment, then we do a little bit of back work on what type of curriculum we're going to use with your child, how we're going to implement it, what interests they have, and different things like that that we take into account for planning the first few lessons. From then on, that assessment helps us formulate what we're doing, but it also helps us to ensure that our instruction is in line with where they're at and where they're going. We also use data that we collect while working with them during the first few lessons and adapt accordingly. The assessment that we do does not count as your homeschool evaluation or as the PEP annual assessment requirement unless you do the IXL portion. But typically, unless you're doing that towards the end of the year, we wouldn't recommend submitting that as your assessment for PEP. But we do offer IXL free for our homeschooling families. So as part of their registration, so then you can use that later when it is time closer to the end of the year to submit that for PEP as your testing requirement. You don't have to outsource any testing other than us. When it comes to academics, we really do cover whatever you ask us to do. If you tell us you're hiring us just for math because your child is struggling with multiplication and division, that's what we'll work on. We may let you know that we found some other things that we could continue working on with them after that and see if you're open to it. Or if you want us to cover your core subject instruction in reading and math, and you let us know that that's what you're looking for, then we build a plan according to that. What we offer to families looks different for every single family. It's not really a one size fits all approach in any type of way. So it's important that you let us know what you're looking for when you're registering, as well as when you're connecting with your teacher, so that we can tailor our approach to your needs. We do offer K-12 subject area support in reading and math, as well as for homeschoolers. It's a little bit different when you talk about homeschooling versus tutoring, because with our homeschoolers, we're often providing that full curriculum. We sometimes utilize our own curriculum instead of following what families have. In other cases, we have full subject knowledge of the full curriculum that we're using that you've chosen and purchased that we implement with your child. Whereas for tutoring, we're working with kids after school that are already getting hours and hours of core instruction, and we're just honing in on the specific areas they're struggling with and helping to mediate that. So that is the difference in our registration for private teaching versus tutoring. And otherwise, a lot of what kind of goes on once you get into it is similar, except for the home education part. Of course, there's a lot more on us as far as being your child's only teacher, and a little different than with the tutoring because your child has some other core teachers supporting them at school. And then also with homeschooling, if you want us to help you plan out what you should work on for the year, based on the standards, if you would like to follow them, if you want suggestions for curriculum to follow, or different things of that sort, that is also something we can offer as choice navigators and consulting. If you are on the Unique Ability Scholarship, you may be enrolled with your county. Well, unless you're under an umbrella school, you would be enrolled with your county. And in that case, we do offer homeschool evaluations. Our portfolio evaluation with a certified teacher includes a review of your log of educational activities, any samples of writing or work that you have. You you will send that to us or share that with us when we meet. We'll complete your form. We'll give you a little bit of advice during about this 30-minute meeting if we have the time for it. If you have specific questions, we love to answer them during the portfolio reviews and just help set you up for a successful year again. We get that form completed for you, and then you send it off to your county, and that meets your requirement if you are on the Unique Ability Scholarship, or if you are not on any scholarships and you're just enrolled under your county as a homeschooler. That's usually due within 1 year of your letter of intent. So, if you are on PEP and you're looking for that IXL assessment and you're not a student working with us, we do offer that for $50 or for $75 for the full year access. The $50 would just be one time to go ahead and submit the assessment to PEP if you pay for it at the end of the year. So this is the part of our website where you can register for homeschool evaluations. I do want to jump back to our homepage. Another service that we offer is speech and language therapy. And that is hands-on, engaging. We can target phonological disorders. We can target receptive and expressive language, stuttering, fluency. Our speech pathologist can work on oral motor skills with your child, as well as if you have an AAC device and utilize that, she can support with it. And she does myofascial therapy. So that's also something tied in with the oral motor skills. To register for speech therapy, you would go under our registration tab, which is here, as well as the general reading and math registration. Or if you are looking for in-home specialized support with a certified ESE teacher, ESE teachers are different from regular teachers because they are trained to work with children with learning challenges such as dyslexia or ADHD, autism, and things like that. They know more about incorporating behavior skills into academic instruction. And so if that is the type of support that you're seeking, somebody who's highly qualified with that next level, that is something that we offer. Most of our ESE services are in-home because that's where we find a lot of those learners learn best. In addition, we do have some groups. Our groups include Spanish lessons, art lessons, fashion design, and English as a second or other language instruction. And for our groups, you'll find those here under groups for the registration. We do, we have had some art groups run before, and we are going to get some art groups running for the spring semester as well as the fall, but that information will be updated. As you scroll down, you'll find more groups. A creative and essay writing group is happening in June of 2026 in Venice. Make sure you check the different areas for the groups that we offer so that you make sure that you're signing up for a group that is available in an area near you. If there's a group or an offering that you don't see on our website, but you have a few kids that are interested in it, we would love to go ahead and get that set up for you. So you can reach us under the Contact Us page here, where you can scroll down and submit an inquiry for what it is that you're specifically looking for. And we'll see what we can do to get it set up. Even if you just have 1 or 2 children interested, we can try to see if we can find some more to join and make it a group. If you're looking for specific information regarding our pricing, you can find that under our services and pricing page. Here you can see the investments for tutoring. This is for students who are already in a full-time schooling option. And then you can see our private teaching pathways, which are just a bit different because we are offering that full curriculum and full coverage instruction. So the registration is a little bit higher. We also offer virtual options for that. What you'll see here for our pricing is the monthly pricing. That includes the meetings for a typical 4-week month. You can take this amount and divide it by 4 to know what you're paying per session, which is typically how the invoices are generated. And then you can find our specialized services down here to get a little bit more information about that. When it comes to payment, you can pay through Step Up for Students scholarship platform. In that case, you are paying per session. If you would like to pay through Zelle, Cash App, or Apple Pay, you can do that by sending the money to us, and you can do that at the beginning of the month to avoid being charged through autopay on TutorBird. With TutorBird, it does charge a 3 or 4% processing fee, which is why these prices are a little bit higher than um, the typical hourly rate, because it does include that built-in processing fee. So that kind of gives you a little bit more information about how our pricing works. And then another thing I would like to share with you is that we do have free social meetups for ages, it's really 9 to 14. They're meeting in Ellington, and we offer some guided activities so that your child can communicate and connect with other children. We're fostering critical thinking skills, and just different types of social situations so that they can work through them in a connected, collaborative manner. And then I would also like to point you to our Meet the Teachers page. This is where you can read about our different teachers. And if you do this and you find one that you think is a great match for you, be sure to include that when you register so we can make sure that we see if you're a good fit for that teacher and their availability. Lastly, I would like to point you to our resources page. And here you can find a lot of different resources that we've created for free to share with families, as well as connections to our partners. So here is our homeschooling link tree. If you are new to homeschooling, I recommend checking out the presentation here, the resource document showing providers in the area, as well as some other free links and helpful tips that are on there. If you're a new customer to What I Learned Today, you can check out this video so that you can learn how to use our platform TutorBird. If you are a new family just getting started and you're considering school choice options, I highly recommend watching this lengthy video going over all of the school choice options so that you can see which is the best route for you. If watching a long video is not the thing for you and you prefer to set up a choice navigation consult with us, we can hear about your specific situation and your child's needs and offer you a step-by-step plan for what it is that you need to do, taking next steps. And then lastly, just because it is April when I'm making this video, oh, it's not April yet, tomorrow. We do have 2 events coming up in April that I want to show you. We have a Sensory Sunday event, and you can go here to register for this hands-on regulation experience. We will have a lot of different sensory things and in the form of stations so that children can go around and explore. We're going to talk about how regulation can be brought about to help your child's nervous system by using different sensory tools. And then, especially for those of you who have a gifted child or a child that just loves learning and exploring and creating, we have a mind stretch, logic, creativity, and collaboration event. It's a little bit like our social groups, but we're really taking it to the next level. And this event is geared more towards 6, 7, 8, and up year olds. But we will have some little activities for the younger kids that come along too. This will be a timed event, so please make sure you try to get there at 1 o'clock on April 19th if you're joining us in Sarasota. And we're going to focus on the joy of thinking at higher levels and working on some stories with holes and some different things like that that foster community connection and collaboration. Here are a couple of our collaborators. These are providers that I utilize for my own child, and so I love to recommend them to you guys because I've built my daughter's education by utilizing the Step Up for Students scholarship and customizing her learning based off of her needs, her interests, where she's at, things that she loves, things that I'm not the best at teaching her, so I have outsourced for someone else to support her with. And that's exactly what we love to help other families do if they are new to the homeschooling world or just overwhelmed with all of the amount of choices that you have when it comes to homeschooling. So again, my name is Shyla, and I thank you for watching my video and taking some time to learn more about what I learned today and all of the things that we offer. I would love to connect with you to set up a discovery call if you are just getting into this world and would like to know a little bit more. Or if you are ready to register with one of our services, we could get you matched with a teacher and get you started right away. So go ahead and check out our registration on our website. I look forward to connecting with you because my goal is to make education look the way that it should and be fun, hands-on, and individualized for any and every person that I am able to do so. So that is my mission for this year, and I'm taking more and more steps to work towards that. As part of it is making videos like this to connect with families like you. So thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing more about what your learning journey looks like and helping set that up for you. Have a great day.